252 million years ago. After parse, our planet looked completely different.
All the continents we know today were once joined into a single giant landmass. Deep within Pangaea, vast regions were hot, dry, and unforgiving. Vegetation was scarce. Only drought-resistant plants like Volcea could survive. Powerful sandstorms constantly reshaped this hostile environment. Across this vast land, life showed little variation from one region to another. In these harsh conditions, only resilient plants like Plesiosaurus could endure. They evolved specialized structures to conserve every precious drop of water. Rare water sources became vital centers of life.
Lystrosaurus, one of the few survivors of a previous mass extinction. They wandered endlessly in search of scarce food and water. But predators were never far behind. Speed and instinct determined who would survive. In this unforgiving world, only the strongest endured.
And from these harsh lands, a new era was beginning. Small, fast, and efficient, early reptiles began to dominate the land.
Their scaly skin helped conserve water, giving them a crucial advantage.
Unlike their mammal-like counterparts, reptiles thrived in the heat. But competition for survival remained fierce.
These early dinosaurs began to claim their place in the ecosystem. Their sharp senses allowed them to detect even the smallest prey.
Speed became their greatest weapon.
Some even began to move in groups, increasing their chances of survival.
But they were not the only predators. Larger hunters still ruled the top of the food chain. Powerful jaws, capable of crushing any prey.
Meanwhile, plant-eating dinosaurs were beginning to grow larger. Plateosaurus, among the earliest large herbivores. Its teeth were adapted to process tough plant material.
Large herbivores began forming groups, shaping a new kind of ecosystem. Smaller creatures adapted by living in the shadows of giants.
A complex ecosystem was beginning to take shape.
And with it, the rise of a new dominant group. At dawn, the earliest dinosaurs began their day. Eoraptor, small, agile and highly adaptable. An opportunistic hunter, feeding on whatever it could find.
Flexibility in diet was key to survival. Elsewhere, a new generation was being born. Their first steps would determine their fate.
Parental protection increased their chances of survival. But danger was never far away. Defending their young was a matter of life and death. Larger species began forming simple social structures. Constant vigilance was essential in this dangerous world. A new world was forming, shaped by survival and adaptation.
Diversity among dinosaurs continued to grow.
Each species found its own niche within the ecosystem. Together, they formed a complex and evolving network of life. Balance between predator and prey defined their existence.
And as the sun set, the age of dinosaurs had truly begun. As daylight faded, herbivores continued their relentless search for food.
But even a small mistake could mean certain death. Predators were always watching, waiting for the perfect moment. Working together, they prepared to strike. Speed and coordination gave them an advantage over larger prey. But size and strength could still turn the tide. Predators knew when to retreat. Survival came first. Nothing in nature goes to waste.
Raw power defined the apex hunters of this time.
But not all life unfolded on land. Water sources became vital centers of survival. Every creature depended on water to endure the harsh climate. Some species adapted to life between land and water. They hunted at the boundary where two worlds met. Beneath the surface, another world was thriving. Ancient predators waited, hidden beneath the water. A single strike could mean instant death.
swamps formed a bridge between land and water ecosystems.
Even the skies began to fill with life.
Land predators adapted to new opportunities. But water demanded different skills. Not all hunters could succeed in this new environment.
Beneath the surface, a different world awaited.
Early marine reptiles returned to the oceans. They were swift, sound, and perfectly adapted to their new environment. A complex marine ecosystem was emerging. But deeper waters held greater mysteries. And larger predators were evolving.
The Triassic oceans were entering a new era.
Beneath the waves, a vast and mysterious world unfolded.
Schools of ancient fish formed the foundation of marine life. Ichthyosaurus, one of the fastest predators of the sea. Its streamlined body allowed for incredible speed and precision. They often hunted in groups, increasing their efficiency. Even here, parental care played a role in survival. But not all predators relied on speed.
Plesiosaurus, with its long, flexible neck.
It relied on surprise, striking with precision. Different predators sharing the same vast ocean. For prey, there was nowhere to hide. Speed became a deadly advantage. And surprise completed the hunt. The hunt ended, but the cycle continued. Near the surface, other hunters thrived. A complex and balanced ecosystem had emerged.
But deeper below, darkness took over. And many mysteries remained hidden. The Triassic Ocean was far greater than we imagine. A world of endless depth and constant change. But around 201 million years ago, everything began to change.
Gigantic volcanic eruptions reshaped the planet.
The atmosphere changed, and sunlight faded.
Plants died, and herbivores began to starve. Predators soon followed, as the food chain collapsed. Even the oceans could not escape the devastation.
Many species vanished forever. A mass extinction swept across the Earth. Over half of all life was wiped out. But life always finds a way to return.
The survivors would shape the future.
From the ashes, the Jurassic Period begins.